some days one ball may feel good, the next day it may not. It depends on maybe how, I don't know, the humidity in the air, or how old the ball was, or I think there's a lot of variables with obviously Mother Nature and with the balls.
Yep, and that's the voice of Super Bowl champion for the 4th time, Super Bowl MVP, Tom Brady, of course. Well, of course, that was his voice last week.
Yes.
Or whatever.
And also, apparently, he's a sperm donor for Ted.
Is that right? Yeah, I mean...
I should say that apparently I've learned that scene is not in the movie. That was like a Super Bowl gag.
Yeah, that was... I mean,
that was hilarious.
I did see that, yeah.
To me, those balls are perfect.
Yeah, I mean... I thought that was...
We need a donor.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
That's why, yeah.
Gonna get a kid that's gonna be a 3-time Super Bowl winner, 2-time MVP.
Yeah.
And they open it up, it's glowing. Ted, best time from Ted. And that's when it's wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was among the ads for this year's Super Bowl. The many ads.
We will talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about everything, but certainly the game, obviously, at least for is always my focus, first and foremost.
Yes.
And this was definitely one of the greatest Super Bowl games, at least in recent memory, and certainly.
Well, so far, based on most analysts, the greatest that they believe has ever played was the New York Giants versus the New England Patriots.
Yeah,
just based on the storyline coming into that game,
right.
The finish of that game.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, obviously, you definitely make a case on that one.
You can say this is the most viewed one.
Well, yeah, it did break.
Trounced a lot of records.
All-time viewership records, and without question. And yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, again, you had Seattle, who they had a chance to be the first team to repeat since the Patriots did.
Yes.
Back in 2003.
Brady's trying to get his 4th ring.
And Belichick,
this is their 6th Super Bowl together.
Right. And
obviously, the Deflategate, I think, added more to the intrigue as well, because now it's like, okay, the balls, there's not going to be no overinflated balls in this game here. Everyone's going to be watching those things like a hawk in this game here.
Yeah.
To me, those balls are perfect.
So now, pretty much comes down to, can New England win legitimately? Now, once again, I talked about this. Once again, I brought up the whole idea that the year Spygate happened, the year they were found guilty, they went undefeated that year.
Yeah.
So this team can still win no matter what scandals. And once again, there's still Harper. Once again, you wouldn't get said about the Deflategate because we don't know what.
We still don't know. Yeah.
There's still an investigation.
Which is interesting. I mean, we'll see what comes out, and I guess in the coming weeks.
I mean, let's get the obvious out of the way. No matter who's found guilty or not guilty or involved and not involved in that, New England's not getting stripped of a Super Bowl title here.
Yeah, right.
Seattle fans could just keep dreaming and wishing.
This is that's
not happening.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah, I know you feel. I remember when Spygate came out. I was a Philadelphia fan saying,
right.
"Please, for the love of God, this might be our moment."
Yeah, I mean,
that's not happening. Worst case, if it's Belichick, what's good? I think it's gonna be nothing than Bountygate. I think he might get a suspended for 1 year. He just won't coach for 1 year. That might hurt New England somehow. It hurt. I remember the Saints that year without Sean Payne on the sideline.
Yeah,
despite it being the same team from last year's Super Bowl, that won the Super Bowl last year. So I can believe that. I mean, once again, if Brady, same thing, probably suspended, without paying that and so on. But I don't see anything going on. Maybe draft picks get lost. That's about it. No one's getting stripped of any title.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I mean, especially in this case, I mean, those balls were watched like a hawk this time, and obviously
the NFL made sure, sure that there's going to be no controversy in this game.
And you think going forward, maybe they'd have a more watch over this as well, but yeah, there's no real dispute here out of this game.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the officiating, there wasn't any major controversy. Although in the beginning of the game, I mean, apparently there was that punt that in hindsight, I guess it didn't really mean anything.
Nah.
But there's Chris Collinsworth was saying
Seattle pretty much went 3 and out that drive anyway. I mean, it was
the next drive after, yeah,
exactly.
Although it would have been it would have kept the start a new set of downs. But I mean, at the end of the day,
I mean, Considering the fact that they would have helped the Patriots and they won the game anyway, does it really matter?
Yeah, that's what.
From an English standpoint?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but just the whole idea, the referees, missing things or whatever. But anyway, but other than that, I liked how it was kind of, just let them play and
Yeah, pretty much.
there wasn't.
It was smash mouth football.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, we're talking about pretty much two very tough defenses
Right.
here, so you knew it was going to get very, very, especially with also beast mode in there as well, because he's physical. Period.
Right.
So I don't know how you want to do this.
Going through the game and everything.
Yeah, go through the game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just started off early on and.
Okay. So go through by quarter.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine with me.
Okay, so the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Patriots, they were sustaining a few drives.
Russell Wilson had not completed any passes.
Yeah, he did not
at all in the first quarter.
And it was a record. I think going in the second, like they said, it was like a record of going
second longest.
Second
First longest long enough was by a Patriot quarterback, not Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It was against the 85 Bears.
85 Bears, yeah. Against another historically great defense.
Granted, one of the best defenses in football. Also, I think New England that year was like a 5th seed. Like they weren't even they weren't even like a top AFC opponent that year. So they were massive underdogs against the Bears that year. Yeah. So once again, I think the game ended like 45-10. Like it wasn't even a close game Super Bowl, but it was supposed to be. Everybody knew the Bears probably should win that game. But yeah, no, that's the record there. But you can believe that based on the teams involved there. But it's second longest drought.
Okay, yeah. I knew he was chasing the record.
And yet the game was like 7-7 at that point when he finally completed a pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, the Patriots, they were moving the ball. And then, of course, on that one...
I don't know, the running game kind of... Well, first quarter, it showed some life.
Well, I mean... In this game, I mean, they didn't run the ball much. I mean, Brady threw 50 times. Russell Wilson threw 21 times. I mean, it was obviously a big disparity. Normally, when you throw the ball 50 times in a game, normally, historically, in recent, you don't win the game. It's a game that, and it's like the Baltimore game a few weeks ago when New England, they threw, so many times.
Yes.
And they still, and then the next week they run the ball more, and obviously they, they blew out the Colts, and that was a different story. But no, here, I mean, Brady, I mean, first quarter he throws that interception that.
Oh yeah, his first
kind
one.
of under pressure, kind of like. Yeah, kind of like what was that? But
that front seven Seattle actually did an okay job putting pressure, especially Bennett.
Yeah.
He was always around the field. He was always around him no matter what, pretty much.
Yeah.
You could see it. He was, Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, but Patriots, they did strike first. Well, a lot of the scoring in this first half didn't even take place until late in the second quarter.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Patriots with like a 2-minute drill, you'd think.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they go down and they get a touchdown, and then that left Seattle with like 30 seconds. So you think, all right, they'll probably just run out the clock here. But they hand the ball off to Robert Turbin. Marshall, Lynch had a good game.
Well,
here,
it wasn't so much just Turbin. There was this unnamed guy apparently in the wideout position. Yeah. Now, when I heard the name Chris Matthews, immediately I thought of the host of Hardball of Chris Matthews on MSNBC, because apparently Chris Collinsworth was the only one. I was the only one because Collinsworth said that I don't know how many times in this game, but no, Chris Matthews had a few.
Some great
some great, including the ballsy play towards the end. Was it 7 seconds left? They were down like close to the goal line.
Yeah.
Once again, there it was okay to pass the pass apparently, but no. Russell throws a quick pass and Matthews catches it, and that tied the game up heading into halftime.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it was, Wilson. I mean even though he wasn't really completing any passes early in that first, I mean he was still making some plays with his legs and.
I mean once again, I coming off of his 4 picks last the championship game, I knew this guy was able to. The question I think was going to be in the third quarter after Brady threw another big pick again. It's like, okay, I know it's Tom Brady.
Yeah,
this is a solid defense though. It looks like they're still getting his head a little bit here. Can he overcome that is with the
Right.
third quarter. I felt like.
And the third quarter is where the Seahawks they got up on the Patriots by 10 points, and
Yes.
it looked like maybe they would start to run away with the thing here, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I think one of the things that you noticed towards the second half is they really had Chris Matthews not even in the playbook towards the end, towards the end, which is just shocking. Great, I get it. The guy was kind of I mean, they had to talk about how how he got what was it? He worked for like Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Prior.
Yeah, I was here. Yeah.
He was MVP in the Canadian Football League
Yeah,
at that point. So,
yeah.
So I mean, and like I said, I think Chris Collins brought up an excellent point by saying, look, towards the end, you have these plays designed for your star players,
right?
Which is not Chris Matthews.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, Matthews is doing well in that. New England's definitely got to watch him there, but they also know this almost no plays designed for this guy here.
Yeah.
They're all designed for Baldwin, and the rest of the wide receiving core.
Yeah. And of course, Doug Baldwin, he did have that one touchdown reception, kind of like that using the ref as a pick play there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had that,
which of course led to Richard Sherman giving one of the best camera performances ever.
Yeah, and of course
24.
Yeah, and of course led to a Randy Moss-esque touchdown celebration,
which the camera barely
yeah.
caught.
Yeah, and,
I know. I heard about that. I'm like, what controversy?
I think
the camera didn't show the touchdowns though.
After it happened, I thought, like, did he just do like a Randy Moss mooning job there? Like, but of course, after showing the replays.
Worse than that, I think one of the Seahawks like juggling had the ball almost slide down, almost like he was taking a shit.
Yeah,
as well. Because the ball was placed right underneath his ass when he was doing it, pretty much. In that.
Yeah. So we had that, and certainly that was another thing in of itself. But yeah, I mean,
well, I think nobody noticed it too because there was no flag. You would have thought for something like that, unsportsmanlike conduct,
Yeah.
But no, fourth quarter. At that point, Brady has two touchdowns, two interceptions.
Yeah. He
has almost no running game at that point.
Gronkowski had a nice touchdown reception.
It looks like Seattle's offense is starting to Lynch.
Down,
Lynch is starting to run in that.
Right.
And so the question became, Brady, this is it.
Fourth quarter.
This is it. Magic time, maybe.
Down 10.
Eventually. Of course, like I said, all things happened. Chris Matthews was not used as much.
Right.
But for a lot of reasons, probably most reasons because the guy was an unnamed guy coming in, period. Seattle just couldn't get a drive going at all in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So maybe towards the end. And even then, they needed a lucky catch to get there. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that,
Once again, Brady, I think at that point was also tied with Montana.
I think, he was 11,
It was 11, yeah.
I think.
So Brady, of course, the next one's a big one because they passed Montana for most touchdowns in a Super Bowl. I believe that actually, I think, but they can, someone who I think had a decent game. Julian Edelman.
Yeah,
actually,
he was making.
towards the second half, he really was starting to light it up. Really.
He was making some, just Sean Jackson-esque plays out there.
Once again, this guy was a quarterback in college.
Yeah. Yeah,
he was a quarterback at Kent State.
Yeah, we saw evidence of that a few weeks ago against the Baltimore Ravens, of course.
But he was a quarterback at D1 Division I college in that, and I guess he decided to go wide out, but he's morphed into not just a top guy for Brady, but also one of the best wideouts in the game in that.
Yeah, fast playmaking.
He really can. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. He's a short guy. He kind of reminds me of Wes Welker, but he's way more reliable than Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Because how many times? We can talk about Brady's legacy after this year because obviously we can talk about his two big Super Bowl defeats as well in that.
Yeah.
But because I remember watching both of those games in detail and so on. But no, I mean so small, so elusive in that. I mean, granted, he took a vicious hit. They had to get a concussion test at one point in the game. Luckily for him, he passed.
Yeah.
Because I think if he would have been not in the game, that might have been a different story too.
Yeah.
Amendola had a decent game. Gronk was Gronk.
Yeah. Making some plays.
I am happy he finally has a Super Bowl ring finally.
Yeah.
Especially that one catch he had. That one catch shows you why
That
one catch shows you why this guy can play wide out too, and his size is just And the guy's fast despite his size in that too, and athletic too.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most athletic tight ends currently in the game.
Yeah.
Sorry to any of the Philadelphia tight ends that I just offended for saying I commented, but that's a fact. Rob Gronkowski is the best tight end in the game. Period.
Yeah, right now, yeah, definitely.
But no, I mean, so like I said, Brady gets a solid touchdown pass there. I'm thinking, okay, it's a game now.
Yeah.
But 7 minutes of the game left, and the fact that Seattle, like, the next drive only lasted barely a minute.
Yeah,
it was a quick 3 and out.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is plenty of time for Brady.
Yeah.
I think I'm Belichick. I start milking for that clock as much as I can as well.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Brady gets a touchdown. About 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Seattle, I believe, at that point has 2 timeouts.
And now it's a 4-point game, so field goal.
No field goal. No field goal.
Gotta get a touchdown.
And like I said, this is it. This is Russell Wilson's shot as well. Chance to get it going. So, their first play is they throw a solid pass to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. Big game.
And immediately, they're in New England territory. And I'm thinking, okay, this is it. It's game on now.
Big game, yeah.
But, however, before the play that people will talk about, the play that people probably have been talking about if Seattle would have won this game, probably.
Yeah.
Now, once again, we talked about how ridiculous the David Tyree catch was, how maybe it was more luck than skill, and how Eli Manning's escape was more bad tackling than anything else, and how clearly he was just throwing a duck up in the air pretty much, because you watch that ball spiral in that play, it's clearly not a perfect spiral. It's wobbling over the place.
Right.
He clearly just throwing a prayer up in the air, hoping somebody would catch it, and that had bad defense as well. But no, anyway, here, Russell Wilson throws a ball up. I forget who's covering Curse.
Was it it might have been Brown.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Former Seahawk, of course. Corner, of course.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown.
Browner, right?
No.
Isn't it Browner? Well,
Wasn't the guy covering Curse the guy that had to make the pick in the end?
Oh, Butler.
Yeah, Butler.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. Butler. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, there was I think maybe Butler's the safety.
Okay.
But Browner was, I guess, maybe.
It's either Revis or Browner. I believe.
The point was there were 2 Patriots in the vicinity there.
Yeah. But and actually, no, I mean, he actually covered the ball perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, he had his hands on it at one point, too, as far as tipping it. And somehow, Curse is down on the ground, and somehow that ball somehow does not hit the ground, and nevertheless, ends up in Curse's hand.
Yeah. Oh, my God! And I think even on the play, the Patriots there were like no, play over, we just swatted the ball or whatever.
I didn't hear any whistle, though.
Yeah.
And also, I see the official waving catch, and I'm just like, okay, there's got to be a challenge or at that point, official review here. There wasn't, I guess, because someone saw. I guess because some official saw the giant instant replay screen and just said, "Oh, that's a catch. That's a catch. That's a catch." There's not even a dispute about it. It's a catch. It's a lucky catch.
Watch it. Yeah, watch the replay.
I think it's even
never
lucky.
hits the ground.
I think it said on Facebook. It's even luckier than the Tyree catch.
To cover, yeah.
He's on the ground, Tyler. He has, at least with Tyree, you can see some effort trying to get to the ball. Here, he's down on the ground, and that ball happens to just pop and fall
everyone watching,
yeah,
everyone watching, including myself, all right, incomplete pass. And then, suddenly, wait a minute, But,
also, perfect camera timing, one of the best camera timings ever, goes straight to Tom Brady, and his reaction
after that.
Best was, oh God, it's happening over again. This is David Tyree 2.0 over again.
Yeah.
Because remember that Super Bowl, Patriots have a game-winning drive, pretty much, to Moss. It's the first time they take the lead in that game.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And here New England comes back from 10, takes the lead again. And once again, not because of bad defense, really. Because, once again, a lucky play gets the team down close enough to get a shot at winning this thing. And it's even worse because I even thought maybe Seattle might have to get that. It might be the last play of regulation. This might be come down to the wire, just like St. Louis and Tennessee did that one year. Last play of the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
I believe Seattle called a timeout immediately after that, though.
Maybe they because
somehow some of the screens Seattle's timeouts went from 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Before they which once again, I mean, we could talk about that. I think that was a bad call by Seattle. I think unless the officials call for a booth review, you hurry down it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because Seattle's secondary, because New England secondary is confused as hell now.
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell they just witnessed.
Yeah.
It's either bad officiating on some people's part or just one of the most ridiculous catches ever in a Super Bowl, probably. But apparently, I think Seattle called a timeout because I remember they went from 2-1 and the clock did stop, and it did take a while for that there. But then again, I'm also thinking, well, if you're Belichick, do you start using timeouts now, or do you just say no? It's too late. Yeah. Too late. Just it's up to my defense now.
Bad situation.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So now, of course, it's they're. I think they first handed off to.
They're like at the 6 or whatever.
They hand off to Lynch. He gets 5.
Yeah.
He gets 5. And then, of course, okay. So let's
about that action,
So let's get to the. But by the way, also greatest camera angle also in the game. Lynch grabbing his small pack of Skittles and putting them in his mouth.
Yeah, like in the pregame. Yeah, that was yeah. I did see that in his little Tupperware containers. Yeah,
right next to like all the other Gatorade bottles.
Yeah, kind of like stashed in there.
It's like some personal Skittle case
or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, once again, let's get to the call. That I guess for the time being we'll live in Pete Carroll's infamous coaching career right now. You would have thought this guy never won a Super Bowl last year, based on how the people have been reacting to this year. But Seattle, once again, keep in mind, they're down to the clock's still running. They got one timeout left.
They're like fiddle faddling around.
It's second and goal.
Yeah.
First and goal. New England does not call a timeout. And when I saw it getting down to close to the 20 seconds, I'm like, clearly they're not going to call one because at this point you must just stay committed to your defense now.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson decides, or I should say, Pete Carroll decides to go pass.
Yeah. Not only pass, line up in shotgun.
Yes.
So which I'll automatically know. It's like, and like right when I see him in shotgun, I'm like, wait, why are they in shotgun? Like they're giving.
Well, they do like the run the read option a lot too.
Well, they do, yeah.
So you could also assume that they're trying to trick the defense maybe a bit as well. So pretty much what happens is Russell Wilson draws back.
Yeah.
I don't even think he tried to fake hand off the Lynch either. I think they just back.
They're running like a pick play.
Pretty much they go for a quick slant.
Right.
And if you watch for a moment when Wilson releases the ball, the guy's open. And once again here, we talk about unsung heroes here.
Great play, yeah.
Chris Matthews was an unsung hero for most of his game for Seattle.
Right.
Now, Butler on the other team here, I don't even believe he was even starting the game.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I mean.
But yet. We talk about how the NFL that if you're even, I believe, a second and a half off of a play, you could cost your team something here.
Yeah.
Butler reads this thing as if he's like a Pro Bowler, pretty much.
Who is this?
Because once again, Tyler, there's a perfect freeze frame where Wilson's about to release the ball, and you can see that the guy's open for Seattle.
Yeah.
But you can also see Butler
getting ready.
kind of like. He's not on the wideout. He's kind of like, I think I'd say he's spying.
Yeah.
He's spying there. Because the other corner is kind of being blocked right now by another wideout for Seattle. So he's kind of just, he's looming there. He's trying to see where Wilson's, going to throw the ball. And once again, and all of a sudden he just gets right in front of the lane and he's able to pick it off. And by then the game's over. Granted, for that small brief second, I'm like, I don't think they can knee though, because of where they're at in the end zone. They have to hand this thing off here. And if this, if there's a holding call or something here, 20 seconds left. Seattle does have one timeout left. They get a safety.
Yeah.
They don't need they don't need a field goal then. It's gonna be they're gonna get the ball guaranteed back. It's probably gonna be in good field position at least.
Yeah.
You can't tell me Wilson Kelly's another pass to get at least in field goal range at that point. And they need a field goal. Great, that'd be one of the most weirdest endings to a Super Bowl football game period I ever saw. And lucky enough for everybody else, Michael Bennett for the all game, pretty much was able to avoid offsides penalties.
Right.
Couldn't do it here. Brady was able to count him offsides there, and by then the game was over. Now
they were frustrated.
Unless of course you were Seattle, who apparently decided who apparently thought this was WWE and apparently thought that you can retain your belt by DQ.
Yeah.
and all of a sudden turned heel and decided to try to start a brawl with New England.
Yeah.
Which, once again, the college said the best here. If you're Seattle, at this point, you don't give a crap. And if you're New England, why the hell would you throw a punch?
Sour grapes.
A punch. You're about to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, their state of mind at that point is like we're winning.
No, but I saw Crockett was full of punch, and I'm like, why would you do that? You can get ejected. You might miss maybe your first and only Super Bowl celebration by doing that there. You're about to win. Who cares who threw a punch at you and what? Don't hit back.
I mean, I guess, in that very, that short term, I guess, that's who Gronk is a little bit.
Gronk smash.
He's a good,
Gronk smash.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I don't know, but.
So, anyway, the play.
Yeah.
Let's get to the obvious question. Was it bad play calling, or was it, the whole thing can run, let's just go pass at least once, and then we might run on third and goal possibly.
I think it was a combination of both, and again, not to mention, before that, it's like they were fiddle-faddling around.
Yeah.
Before they were, wasting time, or whatever. I mean, my instincts there were like, all right, Lynch just got you 5, and I think he can, You can do. I mean, they could have done a read option. They could have done something off.
Now there have been stats coming out though
that he's won.
No, but stats in general about how often do people pass that close to the goal line, and actually it's a pretty high number, and actually it's a very high success rating too.
Yeah.
So I mean, once again here, I can see why Carroll thought that. Also, I'm thinking that too. The clock's running down. You only have one timeout left, so if you run the ball, you can only use that. You can only start that clock once.
Yeah. And see but again, the problem was they were, fiddle-faddling around before that.
Yeah, but I think Sal, once again, maybe, if you talk about bad calls, people thought for a while Bill Belichick not calling a timeout was a bad call, because it's like, you're leaving your offense time to respond if they score here. Like, no time whatsoever in the clock here.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of confused Seattle with Seattle, because I think Seattle's assuming, this guy call a timeout. We're at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
There's not that much time left. They got to call a timeout. They want to give the offense a shot here, but I guess Belichick's excuse at that point was, well, we have no shot here. We got to, so I got to just trust my defense here.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. I was surprised there was no urgency in Seattle's part. But I was even shocked. Once again, I go back to that fact that I believe they called a timeout after that curse catch. And I'm even wondering why. If it's a catch and the booth's not going to review it, you got New England reeling at this point here.
Right, yeah.
The secondary is probably just shocked as hell that catch even happened.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, let's get this straight here. That Russell Wilson play, that interception doesn't even happen. They don't even get that close to the goal line in my mind if that catch occurs to happen.
Right.
Because at that point, I think New England's defense was in Seattle's head.
Yeah.
Because I believe before that, at one point, Russell Wilson throws a deep pass to Chris Matthews, and of course it's perfectly covered. And let's be fair. Most of the game, the wideouts for Seattle did a shitty job getting open.
Yeah.
On a few deep passes.
Yeah, I mean,
it was pretty much
against a good secondary, of course.
Exactly,
and they're not, great receivers, obviously.
Well, yeah, and it came in here. You want to talk about? We talked about the Deshaun Jackson in Philadelphia this year being a big mistake. Percy Harvin's not there.
Yeah,
Sidney Rice isn't there. He's somewhere else too in that. I mean, pretty big wideouts last year's Super Bowl team in that. I mean, once again, it comes down to how. I don't know what these guys said. Obviously Sidney Rice talked about how they came and Harvin had a fight. So he just wanted to get out of the locker room. It sounded like both guys wanted to get out of the hell out of the locker room. It sounded like, but nevertheless, the two top wideouts on last year's team, and now you're down to Doug Baldwin, who's fine.
He's all right. Yeah. You
got Curse, who's kind of hit and miss on games, and and pretty much he was mostly missed. Once again, the luckiest play that's ever had in his career, and it wasn't even. Once again, I say luckier because once again, unlike Tyree, who at least had to make an effort with the ball.
Yeah.
That ball just fell into his hands while he's on the ground. It just happens to have awareness that the ball was still in the air in that.
Right. I mean, if it falls out of bounds, then the catch never happens, or it falls a few yards away. His arms aren't long enough to reach it.
So for me, if that catch doesn't happen, we don't even get to the goal line. I think Seattle at best is going to pass maybe from the 20.
Yeah, I mean,
and even then,
yeah.
even then, I think that's being gracious.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they do like something with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Maybe another wheel pass or
Yeah.
something like that. Something off read option. I don't know.
Yeah, but not to mention apparently Lynch is only 1 from 5
Yeah, at the 1 yard
at the 1 yard
throughout the
line,
season.
which I know sounds mind boggling,
Which does sound ironic. Yeah,
but once again, it's like okay, at this point you got 20 seconds left.
since
It's second and goal. You only got one timeout, which means you're running the ball. You only set that clock once, which means if you run and Lynch does not get in, if he gets stonewalled,
then you have one time. You gotta burn the timeout.
You gotta burn
quick
timeout.
Hurry back to the line.
And if you run it a third and run it again and you get stonewalled again, not saying the game's over, but at that point it's 4 for goal. You can't spike the ball.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
at that point you got to scramble a play. It's pretty much the last play of the game, and even then you're not gonna really have a. Not to mention at that point the momentum's on the defense. Your offense is scrambling trying to go any play that they can think of at that point. So look, I mean, I'm not gonna fault them for trying.
Yeah.
Because look at this.
I mean,
because once again here. To me, it was not so much bad play from Seattle.
It was
more than great defensive play by Butler, who was aware of the play.
Yeah, and
who followed the route.
Yeah,
because keep in mind here, he followed the route perfectly. But when he caught the ball, keep in mind when he catches the ball, the wideout's right there. The wideout runs in straight right into him, pretty much. Yeah. So he's that. Half a second off, that's a catch, and it's probably a touchdown.
Right. Yeah.
That's probably game.
Yeah.
Because I doubt what at that point maybe 16 seconds, 18, 17 left.
Yeah, time was ticking.
Not to mention, Sam might even try to squib kick it too, just to take more. So New England burn more time probably.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, at that point, the game's over.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it was more good play by Butler more than bad play calling by Carroll. Not to mention, I'm throwing a lot of factors by that miracle catch. Once again, that catch does not happen. They don't even get that close in my mind to the goal line because at that point, I mean, look, the entire fourth quarter, Seattle scored nothing. That whole offense got stonewalled by New England the entire fourth quarter. So what makes you think watching this game that New England that Seattle someone was going to get close enough unless a miracle happened, which is what happened, to get that close that they could even have a thought of giving Lynch the ball to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
So that's my thought on the play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what film studies for, and a guy like Jerome Butler making that play, and it seemed like he wanted the ball more than the receiver did there. That's what I saw, and the way he kind of collided into the receiver too, like it put him in perfect position, and the receiver, so that's a good defensive play there.
I mean, it's good unsung hero, but they in this Super Bowl kind of had a few unsung heroes. And like I said, for him, he did. Not did he walk away with his first Super Bowl ring. He also got got Tom Brady's MVP truck.
Yeah,
that's a gift. I would honestly, if I'm Tom Brady, that was nice because obviously that's good. He does not make that play. Game over. And Brady's 500 in a Super Bowl. Yeah. And he's lost 3 in a row at that point.
Yeah, and suddenly Eli Manning is not the only or the Giants are not the only.
Now, granted, looking back at all his losses, or any of those losses, in my mind, Brady's fault. No, not really, because I think I think Brady's played hell. Has never really had a bad Super Bowl game. Right. And once again, I guess since we talked about the game, it's about the legacy of said Tom Brady.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
if you want to, we can go there first. I mean,
what else do you want to talk about?
Well, I wasn't sure if we were gonna go with the commercials and the halftime show.
Okay, well,
it's up to you. I mean,
no, we can do that. Okay, well, the halftime show.
All right.
Okay, now I thought this was a decent halftime show.
All right, decent.
I thought Katy Perry did a solid job.
Okay, all right.
Once again, for me, this felt no different than Bruno Mars. I had almost no expectations. Granted, Katy Perry is a more well-known artist than Bruno Mars is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something they talked about Bruno Mars last year, is that I didn't think he was that well-known at that point.
Yeah.
Katy Perry, I can buy. She has more of a bigger following, which you can tell by the fact that at one point, I believe half the stadium was actually singing lyrics to the song that she did at one point. So she clearly has a following. And I was fine with her doing the halftime show because I remember watching College Game Day. It was the Mississippi and Alabama game. And she's from Mississippi. So she was there as the Ole Miss guest picker in that. But when she was making other predictions, she seemed to have football knowledge, knowledge. So I wasn't. So like I said, I wasn't shocked, and look, I'm sure for her it's a huge accomplishment in that. So I didn't. One of the things I liked about it is the fact that one of the things that irks me about every halftime show of the Super Bowl almost is that they bring fans out on the field.
Yeah.
Which to me aren't even fans. To me, those are stage prop people.
Yeah.
Because I remember went to during the Rolling Stones concert. I swear to you, everybody out on the field was maybe in their 20s, and I guarantee that's not the Rolling Stones demographic when it comes to performing in that. Once again, I feel like they're. All that is just an extra prop to the stage in that. Pretty much. They're not real fans. They're just. I don't think they even pay tickets to get there. Yeah. They're just part of the show, pretty much, which makes it come off as fake and phony in that.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't get like a real reaction. I feel you get fake paid reactions. It feels like. Here, I mean, come on. It starts out with her on a giant mechanical, tiger coming out.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, so she actually is using the entire field for once at a halftime show.
The only problem is they show it coming out, and then it looks silly because you could see like people. I mean, they try to keep the light off, but you see people like move.
Well, Tyler, of course, it's how. I can news for you that's how that thing works.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying it'd be cooler if you could.
Yeah, but Tyler, your eyes not supposed to be on them. It's supposed to be on Katy Perry, the performer. That's how it works.
I'm sorry. I just see like these black figures, and I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool coming out.
I mean, from certain camera angles where you couldn't see the people, I mean, I guess it's fine. But then you see like the.
I mean, once again, I had no problem with the halftime show. Obviously, I was not alone. There were a lot of other people that felt the same way. Now, granted, I know you and Mr. Bill Fike had a massive argument here after your comment.
Well, yeah. Well, clearly, Bill Fike has a huge crush on Katy Perry and all that.
I would say crush. I would go that far. Crush.
Infatuation.
I'm not gonna lie. I think "Firework" is an awesome song. Okay, right, I'm not gonna lie. I listen to Firework. Okay,
I mean,
now, granted, I might have to do the fact that I saw Seth Rogen and James Franco's the Interview movie, and Firework is in that song as like Kim Jong Un's like favorite song to listen to in that. So this is like funny.
It's a comedic,
it's used as a comedic thing, but nevertheless, I have no problem with the song. The song.
I mean, I come from
and I was actually happy that was the finale song because I'm like, there's only really two songs you can use the finale. It's either Roar and they did it in the beginning, and it's Firework. And not to mention, I actually didn't mind like the different scenery in that. I mean, I actually thought it was like very creatively done.
I don't know. I mean, all the beach balls, and I mean, I don't know.
Okay, what? No. See, that's what it felt like an actual Katy Perry concert with the whole kind of like going, Yes, I know the palm trees with the faces, the beach balls, and of course the two sharks waving the fins around like a goofy fashion in that. No. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with it. But anyway, your response.
Well, I mean, and like we said last week too. I mean, we were bringing up ideas of like this laugh comes out like we were bringing up like other of like possible bands that we'd like to see do it, and I just had a suggestion that
you brought up. Your response was Pearl Jam and Foo Fighters.
They're two,
Well, you didn't. Those are the two dimensions specifically.
But I mean, there's
and your response also was that Katy Perry music has nothing to do with Marshawn Lynch beating.
Well, I'm saying my halftime show, it wouldn't feel as much as like a sideshow if it was, if it was something along those lines.
Here's the thing here, though. How many bands, even the ones you brought up, have any songs of anything to do with football?
Well, no, they don't have to do with football, but just like the the pace of the music, the tempo, the up tempo. The riffs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know, like,
Now, to be fair, you're aware that Pearl Jam last year, at one point during a concert, played Let It Go from Frozen at one point during a concert, right?
Well,
so once again, I'm just saying here.
No, I get it. There are some songs that, don't fit, obviously. But, if Pearl Jam comes out and they play like...
No, but I'm saying Pearl Jam sang played Frozen, a Disney song in that.
Okay, yeah.
From a movie that predominantly is loved by females in that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't.
So once again, trying to reach maybe a new demographic, trying to show maybe shout out to their kids, maybe I don't know, or
I mean that's
or maybe in their
I mean,
case, maybe their grandkids.
Yeah, I mean there's a place. I mean there's a place for that. I guess I don't know. I didn't see that or anything, so I don't know.
It's on YouTube. Just type in Pearl Jam, Let It Go. It's on. It's during one of their concerts.
Yeah. But I mean, like like they come out and they play some up tempo stuff and or whatever, some of their signature stuff.
I'm sorry. Fireworks not up tempo for you.
Well, no, but like I Kissed a Girl and it's like what?
Okay, okay. Let me ask you this here because I saw some of the comments and I felt like you were starting to head into the sexism category. Is there any female performer that you were fine with performing at the halftime show?
Well, I'm trying to think of who else out there is.
Because there's a part of me that you hate her. Katy Perry, she's female and.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not
okay.
The male or female stuff.
Let me ask you this: did you have a problem with Beyonce performing at the halftime show?
I guess to be fair, I didn't even watch the halftime show because I wasn't interested in it a couple of years ago. To be fair, I did watch this one.
Okay. I'm just trying to not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I mean it's
because I can see how some people would read those comments as you're just attacking a female performer.
Well, no, it's not that.
Football is a manly sport. And blah, blah, blah.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. I know what they're trying to. They're bringing in. They want more of a, I guess, a marketable demographic and everything.
Let's be fair here.
They're trying to reach out, but
it's the most watched thing. Let's also keep in mind here, Tyler. The Ray Super Bowl does. You cannot tell me that all. What was it like this year? 157 million people are hardcore football fans.
Well, yeah,
they are casual audience members. You can't tell me that those ratings were not also high because Katy Perry, a high-profile singer, was performing a halftime show this year. Also.
No,
so you can't tell me from a business standpoint it makes no sense to have her perform the halftime show.
I know from a business standpoint. I'm just saying, for my tastes, there's certain DJs.
See, that's what it sounds like. That you're hating it because it's not your music. Come on, it's not my music either. But as far as the performance goes, I liked it better than the Rolling Stones show, the halftime show moment.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that.
Paul McCartney one, I think was very sad and depressing to watch too. Him on the piano. I mean, I know once again some Beatle fans are going to hate me for saying that there, but I'm sorry. Tom Petty wasn't bad. Granted, I think anybody had any clue who Tom Petty and Heartbreakers were until they started singing, and it's like, oh, he sang that song. And, Free Falling, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he sang that song too? It's like, well, I didn't know Tom Petty and Heartbreakers sang so many good songs back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. See, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of people, like, it's like they're, it's so limited with how they view music, and they don't know, like, a lot of the history of it. But like the Who a few years ago, I like that.
I actually had no problem with the Who.
That was that was pretty. I mean, it was it's half the Who now. I mean, as far as original members goes. But
once again, the problem being that some of these old guys that you don't get the full band back.
Right, but still, I mean, Daltrey and Townsend and the supporting cast. I mean, that was pretty cool. And then like I'm thinking like the next year they go. Was that I think the year after? Was that the Black Eyed Peas year or was that the Beyond? Maybe I think it was the Black, and then
let's see. The Who was our senior year. I know that because we talked about it in Mr. Holt's class.
That was the Colts.
And I remember having a debate with him there too because his response was, "The Who's so old and I don't know why they're bringing these guys out." It's like half of the band died to do that. I got an argument with that.
Yeah, and of course.
I also predicted that all the three main songs. Because usually it's on the main song.
CSI.
The main, CSI names because CBS hosted that year. And I called it. Like I said, there was a full pinball wizard in that. But there were only 3 songs we played that year. And they were all theme songs from CSI in that pretty much.
Yeah.
No, let's see. Freshman year was Black Eyed Peas. I remember that because I remember my ears bleeding from Fergie's voice.
Yeah.
Also,
I think I refused to watch that.
Also cringing from watching them drag poor Slash out from Guns N' Roses to play. I don't know, Prince coming down, because it was at 18 Stadium. He came down like from the Raptors. That was pretty cool. I mean, but I don't know. There was that. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, too. they had Prince perform the halftime show too. Like how old was that?
Wasn't that a while?
No, it wasn't that a while ago. But I mean, Prince, how old was he when he did that halftime show?
Yeah.
But let's see. I don't know. Sophomore year was
I'm trying to
Madonna.
Yeah. Which I mean that's fine. I mean,
Okay. So
I'm not.
Okay, Madonna. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, she was a bit. I mean, certainly, in the '80s, and
Well, I kind of would not have problem it was 1990 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it was a little bit past her prime in that. I feel like she was really like getting up there.
And that's
Not that she did a bad job. I didn't think her performance was that bad or anything.
I mean, it's like with Paul McCartney.
I mean, once again, to me, the worst one still to this day, I think, was the one where it wasn't so much performers. I think it was like a very artsy Disney rendition, I believe.
Yeah. See, that's kind of what I mean.
That was the one thing there. But that being said, I thought creatively, I thought they did a nice job of the stage at Katy Perry's concert and that.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's fine.
And they changed it up constantly. And I have to mention, the fact that during firework they
shot fireworks off
a lot to the point where I'm like, what the hell are they going to shoot off when this game's over? Because I'm like, you can't tell me that they're not using every firework in their arsenal at that point. Because it was just first I think when they started off it was like a small like sparkle. Yeah. All of a sudden it was like boo 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 like the entire arena pretty much. Junior year was Beyonce. And
in college,
yes. Junior year in college was Beyonce. That was the year after Madonna, which I was fine with. She's like the most powerful woman. I'm sorry, second most powerful woman behind Oprah still.
Yeah,
but she's getting up there. She's got a solid empire with Jay-Z, her husband, building right now.
Yeah,
because they don't just perform; they got like their own like clothing line, I believe, and so on. And actually, I believe Jay-Z also is a part-time owner of the Dolphins. I believe I might be wrong there.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because I believe they live in the Miami area.
Yeah.
And then senior year was Bruno Mars, which just shocked me because I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah, last year.
I kind of
with
the name rings a bell, but I'm like, I don't think he's that over a performer to do the halftime show. That being said, since I had very low expectation last year, I thought he did a solid job last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the halftime.
See, once again, Tyler, for me when I watch this thing, it's not all about I don't really like this music and that. So I'm just gonna automatically say this person did a bad job.
Yeah. No, I didn't say.
Trust me, there's a lot of work and effort I know that goes into this thing here. And by all means, with all the choreography that went involved with Katy Perry and everything else in that, I thought it was better than some recent ones in that. I they actually took advantage of the field they had.
I didn't say it was terrible. I just said they've been going in a different direction, and there's some good. There's other artists that it's like at some point give these guys a call and have have them play at the Super Bowl and
I mean, like I said, if you want to go the whole, we'll give Pearl Jam a shot because who knows how long these members are gonna have how long they're gonna have to live yet,
Well, I mean, they're early 50s. I mean,
that's my point though. I mean, once
it's again, not like
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, they really have gone back to younger talent now. Because after the whole Janet Jackson controversy, they kind of wanted to go to older talent because they didn't want to get risky. Like Janet Jackson did that one year.
Yeah.
But now I think they've started to go back to younger talent again, sort of a bit. Granted, like I said, I would call Madonna young. I wouldn't call all members of the Black Eyed Peas young either. Yeah. But you know what I mean. So I mean, I didn't have it. I'm just saying at a Super Bowl where they had a big commercial. No, there was a lot of sad, depressing commercials. Actually,
that was the
and actually some very serious ones too. I mean, I think the most serious one was, which automatically, as soon as I saw your comments, I automatically thought this was the whole you play like a girl comment.
Wait, what?
Did you not see that commercial?
Which one was it?
I might have. It was the one where they had first they had older people come in and they said, "Run like a girl, fight like a girl," and they're kind of like going, they're doing stereotypes now. And then they bring like younger girls and they tell them run, and they're running normal, fight with a girl, close fist. I mean, but the whole point I think they're trying to make, and they said for someone like Katy Perry, I know her music's all around about feminism kind of and female empowerment, especially the Roar one because you watch the music video. It's it's about this like female that I don't know. She's on an island with this guy, and this guy gets eaten like in the beginning, and she has to like man up and take care of it. It's all that pretty much. But no, but it's like I almost I took your comments as almost like, well, you hated Katy Perry because she's female, and females should not be involved in football halftime shows.
Well, no, I didn't. I just said something that maybe more fits the tone, and it's like they're getting away from. I mean, they had a drum set on the stage or whatever, and I'm thinking like, why is there a drum set there? Nobody's even playing it. Like, what's it? Like, why has that stuff for decoration? And
what do you mean? Someone played the drum set. It was when that one guest came out playing the guitar.
Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz came out.
Oh, I couldn't even see that part. Like,
you didn't see Lenny Kravitz? He was kind of on the stage.
No, I saw him. I saw him. No, I saw.
He was pretty.
No, I saw him, but
spotlight's pretty much on him.
I saw him, but they're in a spotlight, and like everything else was like dark at that. So I didn't even. So that there you go. I didn't even observe the drummer playing it because it's like they gotta keep everything dark, everything else dark.
No. But I mean,
that's my point.
No. But I mean, for me, I mean, when I saw that commercial, I'm like, it's kind of perfect. Go with Katy Perry music and
I didn't even see that. Well, the thing is, my mind.
I mean, I would say it was sad. It was kind of just depressing because it's kind of a fact. I mean, as someone would say is play like a girl, an insult, the insult kind of, because are you pretty much just saying, oh well, females can't compete as well as guys can. I mean, like you said, it kind of like just that kind of like stereotype of bed in that. I don't know. I immediately saw your Facebook like stuff about Katy Perry. I'm like, they just thought of that commercial for some reason all of a sudden. So no, I'm just bringing up to the fact that I just want to verify you that you did not hate Katy Perry's halftime show performance because she was female and females should not have anything to do with the Super Bowl halftime show.
No.
Okay. Okay. Just want to verify.
No. I just said, suggested for my taste. I mean, it's like, bring another like legendary band out there again or something.
Not to be fair, you do realize that your taste. You do realize that your taste is not the only taste.
I know. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm just saying, for the Super Bowl bucket list, you gotta have, some of these bands.
Yes.
Out there
okay. Got it.
And that commercial you mentioned, I don't know. Like as the game goes on, my mind begins to wonder more. Because what's going on.
Well, like I said, it's all about.
And I'm eating. I'm getting. Food and stuff.
You're not wrong. I mean, for these companies, it's all about where do you place your commercial too? Because at what point is the mentality of a fan watching the game in that? Now, Grant, one of the funniest commercials, the funniest one I think this year, I think it is the funniest because still to this day I think the most talked about one happened towards the tail end of the game too, and I don't know if it's the one you're thinking about. Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. It's probably in the middle of
what the commercial was about was that well, first of all, they were hyping up that is it Clash of Kingdoms or is it that? It's a PC like phone game.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking. Yeah. With the what's her name?
No. It's not that one.
But I did see that.
No, but it's kind of like I don't know. It involves like it's kind of like a very cartoonish thing, animation, but anyway, it shows like gameplay like it usually does, and it shows a player getting destroyed by another player.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it flips to the person's phone and it says, "You've been defeated. Do you want revenge?" And sure enough, the camera pans up and it's Liam Neeson. And pretty much he does his stereotypical Taken monologue, which is what he's become famous for, pretty much. And all of his roles now is a silent badass that does like internal monologues once in a while. But it's just funny because it's him doing the Taken monologue, and he's pretty like just saying like I will have my revenge, and he says like the guy's like player name and then. I don't know.
I may have like.
I thought it was hilarious in that.
I may have like half seen that one.
Now one that I kind of missed because it was very early in the game was the Lindsay Lohan minivan one.
I don't think I noticed that one, but actually in a class I had today, this it's a sports media class. Mm-hmm. Of course, we were talking about the Super Bowl, and so I actually saw that ad. Actually. In class, actually.
I mean, I did not notice. I actually not paid attention to that ad until I saw. Wait, that Lindsay Lohan? Oh, they make fun of her DUI incident that happened a few years ago. So I mean that was it. Least favorite, like I said, I don't know. There was that one nationwide one too. That just it.
The depressing one with was that the one with the child?
The child and the dog.
Or whatever, yeah.
His imagination, right? He shows his imagination. All of a sudden he goes, but I can't do all that because I died at the age of 12.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it shows and it's like, damn, that took a dark turn pretty fast.
Yeah.
No, that one was sad and depressing. Sad, depressing, and also slightly creepy, also as well. Because I'm like, wow, that was a dark turn pretty fast. It's like first it's like, oh, imaginations, and all of a sudden it's like, and the kid died.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't want to say sad. It's kind of just pathetic now from Budweiser's part. I hate commercials that just pretty much repeat what they did last year. And Budweiser did that this year. You know what I'm talking about? It's two of them. Remember last year they had the dog and the horse, and the dog was trying to get they're trying to find a new owner for the dog. The horses didn't want the dog to leave.
That whole idea is like played out when they bring in the dog.
Well, guess what? How they did it this year again. This time though, the dog got lost.
Yeah.
And it's about to get eaten by a wolf. Except for his horse buddies came in and saved him. And I was just like, okay, I get it. It's sad, depressing, but this is the same shit you did last year.
Yeah.
I hate laziness. The amount of money you put into this company, new ideas. But then again, this is the same company that also used the Budweiser commercial. I don't know how many times in past Super Bowls until finally people just said, we're sick of the damn frogs. We are. Oh, and also the lizards we flew in the episode 2 that were trying to become Budweiser spokesman as well. And then he had the Bud Light one that just had to do with, because what was it, last year with Bud Light they did that whole, the guy, hey, you want to have a free Bud Light and experience the best night of your life, and he meets all these random celebrities like Don Cheadle with a llama and other moments like that. Well, this year they had a guy playing real life Pac-Man.
I saw that. Yeah,
it's like once again same concept as last year, just slightly different.
Yeah.
Once again, lazy. So Bud takes the award for laziest Super Bowl commercials this year. Yeah. But you watch their history; they got a history of being lazy with their commercials. But so for me, the favorite was the Liam Neeson one.
Yeah. And
based on the fact that people are still talking about that one, I think that won it this year.
Yeah. Again, I like the Tom Brady.
To me, those balls are perfect.
The Tom Brady
one. The Ted one.
Yeah, because Tom Brady pops up out of nowhere. And it's
well, if you watch the first Ted, the character's in in Boston, so the pretty much Patriots fans. Sense. I mean, and Mark Wahlberg is. I mean, hell, he was in the stadium. He actually is from Boston in that, so he's an actual New Englander and so on. And actually, I believe Family Guy takes place from Massachusetts too as well. The characters do. In fact, there was a one hilarious one where Peter is on the Patriots as Tom Center.
Yeah.
Where he says, "Where are the Tom Brady says, Peter, let go of the ball." Yeah. What?
I think I don't watch Family Guy really at all, but I do kind of I know what episode you're talking about. I've seen that.
Kids are playing for a team in England.
Yeah.
No. Like I said, it's just like that. Also, the fact that that commercial, it's like, get out of the house, take your damn bear with you.
Yeah.
Also, it's like, wow, perfect spiral.
Yeah. Yeah. And
was that you said? Because once again, besides companies trying to sell shit to people, it's also it's really the first major push in my mind towards the summer blockbuster season.
Yeah.
Favorite. Which ones did you see that you think really made you say, "Oh, I might be intrigued to maybe pay a ticket to watch that movie"? Probably.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't. Not every commercial have I.
You actually zone into, and then
I mean,
once again, it's because I'm a business major, and I'm always intrigued by
I know
the amount of money they spend on these things here, and this is the effort they throw into it in the end, and so on.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, I'm trying to think of the trailers. The Ted one was great. The thing that flew that, the reason why I'm not gonna say that's my that was my favorite one, because I learned that's an actual scene in the movie.
Yeah.
It was just that was a publicity stunt in the Super Bowl. It was a great stunt. It was hilarious, but it's like, wow, that's not even gonna be in the movie. It's like, I don't know, Jurassic World. Actually, really was dug to the 60-second spot they threw in there.
Yeah, I think I saw.
I mean, once again,
half
I understand it's a franchise that people feel like they're just beating with a dead horse at this point. But
Yeah.
come on, to me, it feels more of a reboot. It's different. How the park actually works. It's actually a
Yeah.
functioning park. And it stars Chris Pratt, who I love the Guardians of the Galaxy as Star-Lord. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm intrigued. Keep in mind, my most anticipated movie for the year, 2015, is Star Wars Force Awakens. That's my most anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah.
The year. And I'm pretty sure it's either that for most people or Avengers. But out of the trailers they showed, Jurassic World for me won. Because that just... It's got me intrigued for...
Yeah.
I wasn't even like a big Jurassic Park fan growing up. I kind of, dug it when I was a kid in that. But, let's be fair, 2 and 3 disappointments. And, like I said, I feel like almost like the Jaws franchise is just beating this thing over a dead horse at this point.
Yeah.
But... No, so for me, Jurassic World for me was the most anticipated one there.
Yeah. I also mentioned or I want to mention the Snickers Brady Bunch commercial.
Oh yeah,
I like when they do things like that. With
that wasn't too bad.
show.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Like that.
I
kind of like that kind of humor.
If you think about it, it's the same Snickers commercials that they've been famous for recently.
Yeah.
That one's good. It's different actors, so it's kind of different. But it's kind of the same thing.
Maybe the same form.
Great. I'm not really sick of it to that point. At this point, they also. In the past, what they did was it was a celebrity in like the real world. Here, it was celebrities in a fake in a classic television show,
right? Which I think is kind of funny.
It's not Danny Trejo, Machete himself in the Brady Bunch's world.
Yeah,
and then of course, good old oh my god, but
Steve
Steve
Buscemi,
Buscemi,
yeah.
Not now, Jen.
Yeah, I like when they like stuff like that, like hypothetical situations.
Yeah. Actually,
like the Brock Lesnar commercial that came out of the Hardys one where he's like destroyed, and it's like it looks like he's destroying the office and he's grabbing a burger.
Actually, you want to talk about biggest shocking commercial? GoDaddy actually just did the commercial, just hyping up what their website does, which is web building.
Yeah,
there was no half naked, there was no Dagger Patrick and getting a shower and all that and so on.
Yeah.
And the whole, you want to see the full trailer, go to GoDaddy.com and so on. It's like, so most surprising one right there was the fact that GoDaddy now has clearly ditched their old marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
Actually, last year did they do the whole? They had a kind of fat guy, and all they did was they had him kissing a pretty girl for like 30 seconds straight. And all you did was you heard the noises they were making.
I think I seem to remember. Yeah, I vaguely remember something like that.
And a lot of people like hating the commercial not because of the idea, because of how long it was. And all you heard, you didn't hear anybody really talk. It was just the. All you heard was the
lips.
The lips, moving as they were kissing in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we debated the halftime show and the commercial.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes now. Yeah. Tom Brady's legacy. Once again, we don't know until the results of the investigation come out whether his legacy is taking a hit. Look, for me, if I had to think anybody who's probably going to get the most, if anybody's going to get found guilty, has the best shot right now, it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And in my mind, if they find Brady knew nothing and Belichick knew something, maybe Belichick's legacy takes a hit again.
Yeah.
Once again, they just keep winning. It doesn't really matter at this point because really it doesn't really matter if they cheat or didn't cheat.
Yeah.
Cheat, apparently you just can't stop the Patriots at this
point.
Apparently
in this Super Bowl, it didn't.
But Brady, for me, there is no tarnish to Brady's legacy. If he's found a little bit, he is a little bit guilty. Once again, we got to wait till the results come out. But
and in the grand scheme, again in this game, it didn't. Well,
let's get to the obvious question: is this his last Super Bowl ring, or does he have a shot at beating? Joe Montana possibly.
Yeah,
because he's going to be, I believe, 38 next year.
Yeah, Brady's still playing at a high level.
I think he's only 2 years behind Manning, but he has not experienced. First of all, he has yet to have a major neck injury. Like Manning had, which I guarantee that neck injury greatly reduced Manning's availability going forward. Not saying because I really do see Brady going Brett Favre route and maybe playing in his 40s and that. Now, granted, will his game go downhill like Favre's kind of did down the stretch as well until he had those maybe two
Yeah.
decent seasons down the stretch.
I read an article a couple months ago that Brady, he gets 10 hour. He's a 10 hour sleep kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I could maybe see how that helps, and it helps him his longevity maybe as a player. And,
I mean, granted, if I'm Belichick, I'd give him a running back this year at least.
yeah, I mean Blunt.
You held down on defense.
And then the one day they bring out Jonas Gray and at a focal point.
Yeah,
I mean,
but for Vereen?
right,
Like,
yeah. Shane Vereen, yeah.
I mean, come on. Give this guy a running back. Help this guy out.
Yeah.
And very least, I'm sorry, I like Edelman. Amendola's not bad, but give him a wideout too.
Yeah.
The only time this guy ever gave him a wideout was Randy Moss that one year.
Yeah.
And look what happened when he got a wideout. They went almost undefeated for a full season. So give this guy a wideout. Once again, if you can avoid Jeremy Macklin from Philadelphia, that'd be nice. But once again, I was Jeremy, and if I got offered a contract, and it was a decent amount of money, and it was from the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, I'd jump on that wagon and go to Foxborough as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because once again, you don't even know what your quarterback situation is in Philadelphia yet. You don't even know if Nick Foles is going to be your starter or if it's going to be some rookie Marcus Mariota yet. So you don't even know. Yeah. You don't even know even LaShawn McCoy is going to be on that team next year either as well. So if you're Macklin, you just look at Philadelphia as, okay, we're going to a building, but I want to win a ring now. Yeah. And the only way I got a shot maybe is up at Foxborough possibly. Yeah. Where they have plenty of cap space to spend money in that. But
yeah, and part of that's thanks to Brady, just like taking
a
pay cut.
So you do think Brady has a shot at getting a fifth ring possibly? I do. Once again, he would surpass, I believe, Montana as the most.
He would surpass everybody.
No. Actually, no, he wouldn't. I think the most. I think there is a player that actually has 6 rings.
A play like what player?
I'm trying to think. It was
a certain player.
It was Because I looked up Super Bowl records and they do have like individual stats in that, and because Brady, I believe, is tied for most appearances, which is 6. Yeah. So he gets 1. He's gonna be
as
7.
far as quarterbacks goes.
Oh no. He's tied for the most.
That's what I mean.
The most with Montana right now.
Montana and Bradshaw.
Now, granted, if you
Bradshaw, I don't know how much he counts.
I thought Bradshaw only had 3 rings.
No, he was with the Steelers. 4. He has 4.
Okay,
but in the 70s,
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, yeah, you're pretty probably right. I mean, granted, granted, ESPN when they showed titles, they showed Bart Starr with 5. Now, granted, 3 of those are NFL championship games.
Yeah.
Not trying to discount those because God knows that's the last time Philadelphia won a championship in football too. Ironically enough, it gets the same Lombardi Packers too as well. But you know what I mean. So I don't want to discount those, but that was in football. That was before the merger, and that was before the Super Bowl happened, which really changed the game of football. Period. From kind of this football to oh boy, money, a lot of money. But here's the thing. I mean, even if Manning comes back, there's no guarantee Demaryius Thomas is coming back. Yeah, you have Emmanuel Sanders in that, but I don't know, new coach. I don't know if Denver's going to be able to compete. And after that, maybe Baltimore can because they seem to just have this way of competing with New England.
Yeah, if they don't beat, they're right there with them. It seems.
I can't see anybody in the East stopping New England. I mean, I know I keep hearing Dolphin fans saying, we got talent. Yeah. We got talent. Okay, I get it. Yeah. I get it. You got some talented guys in that too here, but this team has yet to. Yeah. Even in the run of the playoffs, they just finally collapse each year. So make the playoffs first before you talk about division title. Yeah. Buffalo, I get it. Rex Ryan, he has a solid defense to work with, and he's always had a history of giving the Patriots trouble. Yeah. Even the Jets this year, he gave them trouble down the stretch in that. So he can. Doesn't matter how bad the team is, he can compete. Maybe. Granted, I think they need to pick a quarterback and stick for quarterback in Buffalo. Then. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of it. Yeah, and the Jets, I don't know. I mean, Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Percy Harvin. Most people would die to have that good of a receiving core. Yeah. I don't know if Geno Smith has the capabilities though to manage that much talent though, even if that ever happens. Once again, that's probably a pipe dream away for most Jets fans. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, the Bengals. Andy Dalton's got to win a playoff game for they ever get phone as a contender. Steelers showed some promise. Yeah. I think the thing that hurt them this year was Le'Veon Bell got hurt at the wrong time. Trying to think. I mean, yeah, Andrew Luck. I mean, the Colts. I don't know. They're still missing people to become a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Houston. I don't know. They got. I don't know. I think they need a quarterback yet.
They need a quarterback.
Defensively,
Like the
they might be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the West. I mean, maybe the Chargers. They can stay healthy for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, since you still just grasp the straws here. I mean, I honestly gotta say New England's a front runner in the AFC next year.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to lose a whole lot of guys.
Yeah.
And they might get stronger in certain positions too, based on what they do in the free agent market.
Yeah. I think last year, I'm not totally sure, but I think after the Super Bowl last year, I think we predicted who was going to be in next year's Super Bowl. At that point in time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like if we had to say, and if I had to make a prediction today, as far as who I see in the Super Bowl next year, I think New England will return. Again,
yes,
you're having a hard time making a case too. Like who else is going to be?
Yeah.
They're the way, as long as there's no suspension here, obviously, or something.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Brady's suspended for a full
If something
season.
like that happens,
I'm sorry. I hear the good things about Jimmy. What's it? Garoppolo, I believe is how he pronounce his last name. I hear good things about the kid. I think that's asking a lot, a lot just to come in there and take over Tom Brady's position for a full season.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do fine without Belichick for a full season. This just seems to be like a well-functioned organization, really.
Yeah.
Minus 2 scandals right now, but I mean, they've been really consistent and a well-managed organization. They've been able to
year after year.
Despite a cap and everything and that, and in certain things, they've still been able to stay relevant for so long. It's amazing how they've not won more. And once again, when we get back to Brady and that, I'm going to make an argument there about why this guy was just, first of all, one lucky catch away from a fifth one, and one catch that maybe should have been made from a sixth one possibly.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, he would have been undefeated, which just would have just trounced every disbelief in this guy pretty much. The losses do prove one thing, that he is beatable, and that the Patriots are beatable, and that they are human.
Yeah.
that they're not this machine.
Right.
That's perfect. That's perfect. No, but I mean, for New England, I gotta go New England here because Denver.
They're a question
I'm finding
mark
it too much of a question mark right now, especially new coaching staff coming in. The NFC, I mean,
if I had to pick today, I'm going to say Green Bay goes out of the NFC. Although, I mean, I think Seattle will be there.
Here's the thing though. Too, I think Detroit is going to still be relevant next year.
Yeah,
I think they can compete. I think Minnesota, depending on how the Adrian Peterson situation comes out, if they got Peterson. I'm sorry, Teddy Bridgewater has shown signs there.
I think Bridgewater's good.
That was a team. That was
Peterson.
That's a team that really showed a lot of light towards the end of the season there. And I'm just saying they get a solid backfield. Maybe if Peterson coming back.
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Peterson will be 30 maybe. I mean, we'll see. I mean, see if he can come back strong.
But then again, now he maybe as a quarterback in Bridgewater might put less pressure off the running game. Maybe that means
I think Bridgewater's good.
I think Minnesota found a quarterback last year, which is good thing.
Yeah, and I thought Bridgewater would be decent.
Arizona, I think they stay healthy. If Carson Palmer can stay healthy, and they do not lose Larry Fitzgerald in the free agent market, you cannot tell me Bruce Arians' Arizona team, if Seattle loses most of that Legion of Boom, granted, here's the thing too. They lose guys. Who are those guys? What teams are those guys going to?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Key factor there, because let's keep on the mat. Keep this out way. There's no way in hell, unless hell freezes over, that Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas is showing up in Philadelphia anytime soon.
Or Cam Chancellor.
I've told you specifically that until Chip Kelly comes to reality, this is not the NCAA. This is not Oregon. Malcolm Jennings. Expect players like that. Expect scrubs, pretty much, to come to our defense.
Or if their offense, starts to hum better and has better personnel.
I don't know. I think New England showed you can kind of go up tempo, but still dominate time of possession very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like
See, that's what I'm
they
saying.
don't have to go.
You don't have to go.
Not all the time either. That's, I mean, that's
They huddle.
nice.
They huddle.
Yeah, and that,
Even
yeah,
when Green Bay goes up the tempo, they huddle.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. There, you can go up tempo. I don't have no problem with tempo, but time possession matters.
yeah. That and they got
He can say it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters on the other side of the ball. The defense, which again, the Ohio State against Oregon not showing anybody how sad, pathetic Oregon's defense can get when they face a physical team sometimes.
You can run the ball very well.
And guess what? You're gonna find that in the NFL all the time almost. So, I mean, I think we had a few breaks there, but I don't be surprised if Bradley Fletcher and Kerry Williams are both back next year in the corner position because we couldn't find anybody in the secondary.
I mean,
to let it go in Philadelphia this year.
Well, I can't see both of them being like. I mean, you got to be crazy if they, especially since
Tyler, once again,
especially since Kerry Williams already showed that he doesn't really buy into the the whole Chip Kelly thing.
But once again, Chip needs some names to fill a roster spot too. Here, he's not that delusional.
Yeah, but I just don't think. I don't think.
But then again, like I said, if he drafts Marcus Mariota, then I really do believe that he's basically bought into this pipe dream that Oregon is just this great.
Well,
system.
I mean that.
I'm just saying.
Wants
I'm just saying
a more complete quarterback that fits. So they can use this entire playbook.
Okay. Like I said,
like Nick Foles.
I said we'll find out, but I tell you this: Philadelphia's not going to be a contender next year.
Well, maybe. I mean, it'll be his rookie year, obviously, but I think Mariota would give him a better shot as far as this coach than say Nick Foles or Sanchez, obviously.
No, but like I said, here's the thing: Marcus struggles, and
all of
a sudden Chip's out, and guess what? We're stuck with a quarterback that all of a sudden does not even have the coach that they drafted in the year, and all of a sudden we're standing there going,
Although then maybe they get a different coach and it surrounds more personnel. I don't know. It has a different direction. Different coach. Maybe things work out better and Mariota should.
No, but I mean, for me, I think Arizona can capitalize if Seattle goes. Goes down a bit. I can't buy the Niners right now because the coach they picked.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, they're questionable.
To replace Jim Harbaugh. I was shocked by the person they picked. You got to pick at least a no name or somebody.
Yeah.
But no, I think Arizona is definitely one.
Yeah. St. Louis. See if they can get a quarterback.
I mean, Jeff Fisher. I mean, once again, this is I'm not surprised if they're pushing for Nick Foles here because I think they want I think they want a quarterback that. Not to mention, I think maybe Nick could fit better in what Jeff Fisher.
That's what.
I think Jeff Fisher does know something about quarterbacks and that. Yeah. He is a very quarterback friendly coach in that. So
they got a pretty good defense in St. Louis.
Exactly, and so. I think all you need right now. I think actually that's the only spot they really need is a quarterback. I think most of the other key positions
they got some young. They got some young.
It's a young team, but and like I said,
on its way up.
Youth is very key to the success of a franchise. Yeah. I mean, Green Bay's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Atlanta, maybe they can find a defense. New Orleans, if they also can find a defense, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but I do like the Green Bay. I want to go Arizona. I think Arizona's a way more balanced team than Green Bay is. But Green Bay's not a bad pick. So
I mean, they got.
Now let's get in here. If Seattle can keep a bulk of their team,
I mean. The absolute staples, obviously. Now, the question, like Marshawn Lynch, for instance, he's a bit of a question mark right now. Because, if he retires or if they cut him loose, they got a, cap space issue.
But like I said, you have, I believe, Thomas's contract's up at the end of the year. Richard Sherman's is. Cam Chancellor's is. Bobby Wagner's is. I mean, we're talking about a lot of key.
They got to pay Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he said you got to pay Russell Wilson because his rookie contract's pretty much up next year, so he's got a lot more money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many holes here, and
so many signings.
And there's I don't care how you try to work the cap space. I don't see how you get all those guys signed back next year.
Yeah, well, you don't. That's the thing.
So now it comes down to who's more important than that. And once again, here, I think at the end of the day, I think that the guy who might be leaving is either Earl Thomas or Richard Sherman. I think it all comes down to which corner do you value more than the other.
Yeah. Well, also the I forget the other.
I think Wagner's good because he's been viewed as a captain on the defense.
Yeah.
I think Chancellor's good because he's been kind of
Chancellor. Yeah.
I think it comes down to Thomas and Sherman.
And they also
there's probably others as well, but to me, those are the two ones.
Yeah.
It's going to be either Thomas or Sherman. They keep both of those guys somehow. That very impressive on their part in that, because I think only one of them staying next year.
They have another corner too that I think is hitting the free agency mark.
Maxwell.
That's right. Byron Maxwell. The name slipped out of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
another one. So I mean, they got.
That's the one about Seattle. They got depth in defense too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, even with certain injuries, they can just put somebody in there and they can play just as good as the other guy that came out. So
yeah.
Okay, so New England. So we talk about Brady's legacy and that fifth Super Bowl and that. Now, I'm convinced that his 2 losses, which were close games,
I mean,
should not deter his legacy in that. No.
Yeah. To me, those are bonus. The fact that he appeared.
Keep in mind, those are games he could have won. Ditter does not make that catch, and Eli Manning gets sacked.
Right.
Game's over in my mind. New England wins. They go, 19-0?
Yeah.
Undefeated. Only second team to do that. Though I think this is more impressive because it's a longer season.
Yeah.
Also, the second one against the New York Giants, ironically enough, as well. I don't know if you recall. I think it was third down actually. Tom Brady throws a pass to Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I've been watching it. It came across as a high pass, but still, it's in Wes Welker's hands. It doesn't come drop it. It doesn't complete it, which gives Eli Manning and the Giants the ball back pretty much.
Yeah.
Where Eli throws a spectacular pass to Mario Manningham, who stays in bounds. And of course, we know history then. They give it to Amon Bradshaw, which New England lets go run to the end zone pretty much.
Yeah.
So then Tom Brady has a chance to throw Hail Mary down the end zone, which Gronk maybe by a millisecond might have caught maybe.
Yeah.
But no. But so my point is Brady could have won both of those games there. And number 2 is both of those losses are not Tom Brady's fault.
Right.
And both really happened were stuff that usually you don't expect to happen. Wes Welker missing a big time play, although I think we can all learn from Denver now that he's been missing some big time plays, and he just has a history of that, it feels like. And like I said, David Tyree, that catch still to this day is still, I don't know how the hell he caught that ball.
Yeah.
He pretty much has it in one hand and the other one's on the helmet.
Yeah.
It's not even 2 hands on the ball, but. So like I said, I mean, so for me, I don't even look at the 2 losses deterring Brady's legacy.
Yeah. To me, 2 extra appearances is, just bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, he won 4, and he went to 2 extra. I mean, no, I mean it's the Super Bowl. It's supposed to be the tough, the best that one conference has to offer against the best that the other conference has to offer. So, it's not like they're throwing out, the Oakland Raiders, and all right, you got to beat that. It's the toughest team from the other conference you're playing, and 4-2 is still not bad again. Obviously against the supposed other best team in the league. So that's the way I look at it as far as Tom Brady's legacy goes.
Yes.
And I mean, again, according to my prediction, I mean he'll be going to another one next year. So, that'll be yet another, at least according to my prediction, another notch in Tom Brady's belt.
Yeah.
To go.
One other appearance, not exactly a notch in a ring yet.
Yeah. So either way you look at it, I mean that's pretty much that.
Okay.
Not to mention, I mean, his touchdown interception ratio is still pretty substantial.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's got like 15,000 more yards overall than Joe Montana, and he's still probably got a few more years to play. And again, he just surpassed the all-time Super Bowl touchdown pass record, and before that, he the all-time in playoffs touchdown pass record. So he's breaking playoff records.
He's already got a place in Camden already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's
it's still amazing though that this is his first one since 2004 though.
Yeah, I mean
it's been that long of a gap.
But I mean it goes to show you that the Patriots. I mean they've evolved. I mean they've continued to play at a high level like that. I mean, the other, big time quarterbacks that won Super Bowls, Bradshaw, who's won 4. I mean, it was in that 6-year span or whatever. Montana, he had his Super Bowls. This is, Tom Brady 10 years later, here at age 37 now, he hasn't won since I guess he was 27, and, he comes back out and he wins another one. So, credit to them, Bill Belichick.
And keep in mind,
and Brady.
even during that gap, he was in two. He was in two.
He was in two more. Yeah, exactly.
So he stayed relevant.
they've
Even
evolved. Yeah.
and even then, they've at least gone to AFC Championship games and at least won the division. So they always have made the playoffs too, pretty
Right.
much every year.
Every
as well.
year. I mean, you look through their record history. I mean, 13-3, 14-2, 12-4, whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty consistent down the line there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yep.
Really, I mean, I guess we're pretty much in agreement along those lines.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess that pretty much covers everything.
Yep.
On the
we covered a lot.
post Super Bowl edition.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was
it's the last show.
It was
last show.
Yeah, it was an eventful Super Bowl. Obviously, a lot of legacies and everything at stake here. So there's certainly a lot to talk about. So yeah, for now, as far as TW Sports Talk, I guess we'll be on a bit of a hiatus until maybe things happen with free agency. Big free agency this year that awaits the
Not to
Philadelphia
mention,
Eagles.
Eagles possibly making a massive draft move also. Trying
Yeah,
to move
obviously,
up somehow.
that down the road, and yeah, perhaps Peyton Manning, talk may come up since
Yes.
obviously it's a big name, and he's
Well, he has to make an announcement. I think at least before March, so that way
Right.
Denver because maybe then Denver has to try to make a move at a quarterback
Yeah.
then too. Because no offense to Brock Osweiler, but I doubt he's the long term solution to the problem.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, either way, I mean, it's basically another football season in the books. So yeah, I guess,
Well, it was a season that started in controversy and ended in controversy.
Yeah.
Or, it started with scandal and ends with a scandal.
Yeah. So yeah, how about the irony of that? So yeah, we will. We'll return when either free agency or whatever with as far as TW Sports Talk goes.
Yes.
Or maybe a possible Peyton Manning retirement or whatever may come up in the football world. So until next time, thanks for tuning in as always, and stay tuned for whenever the next edition of TW Sports Talk pops up here on YouTube.